It's Saturday, May 25th, 2024. I hope everybody's having a great weekend, a great Memorial Day weekend. Respect to all the veterans out there, and especially to all those veterans who gave the ultimate sacrifice for America. Stay safe out there this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We are really heading into crazy times, and I want to start this video out today. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe and all that good stuff. But I want to start today's video out with a couple things. We all need to be waking up. We all need to stop being complacent. I got a phone call very early yesterday from a very, very close friend of mine who just retired from law enforcement, from the sheriff's department, called me up and told me his mom's house had just been broken into. Now, luckily, she wasn't there. She was in the hospital. Say some prayers for her. She's not doing too well. She is getting a little bit better, but she's not in really good condition right now. So if we'd all could say a prayer for my buddy Jim's mom, that she improves. She's now living in a care facility. So my buddy's son lives part-time at his grandma's house, and he was not there yesterday, and the house was broken into, and they went right through the ADT alarm system, didn't stop them, and they kicked the door in. And I say this many times, you may have an alarm, but what if they breach the door and they're in the house now? Thank God nobody was home. But if they get in, the alarm system is not going to stop somebody from doing something very, very bad. Now, Jim and his son was with him at the time. He was at his house. They got in the car. They got to the house within 11 minutes. ADT called, sending the sheriff's department. And so Jim got there before a deputy got there with his son. Thank God for the bad people. That I don't know if it was one suspect, two suspects, they're not sure yet. But this is not a person you want to fool around with. They came ready with plenty of gear. So luckily for the bad guys, they had already left, because this is a human being that will take care of business. I bring this up because a lot of us have gotten complacent. Oh, we have an alarm in the house, so nobody's going to do anything. The alarm didn't stop them. The alarm was going off. They breached the door. They got in. Luckily, they really stole absolutely nothing. There was really nothing there for the taking. But look, what if his mother was still living there and this happened? What if his son was there? Now, his son is a well-trained guy too, but you know, you've got to be aware of the threats, the danger that is out there. Things can happen in a second's notice. You don't have time to prepare. You don't have time to get ready. You've got to be ready now. So you could be in your house and something can happen. It doesn't have to be when you're at the mall, or when you're at a concert, or when you're, wherever you're at. It could be right in your own home. And so luckily, again, nothing bad happened. But, Jim even told me, he said, man, this is a huge wake-up call. I've been in law enforcement for decades, just retired a couple years ago. And he says, man, I got to make sure I'm carrying gear every day. I got a little lazy. I got a little lackadaisical. This is a wake-up call. This is a reminder to make sure that I got everything situated in my own home, and that when I leave the home, I've got my gear situated. So to everybody out there, make sure you got your gear situated, make sure you're training, make sure you're proficient. You never know what's around the corner or what's at the door. It can happen very, very quickly. So again, pray for Jim's mom that she recovers, and thank God everybody's okay. Secondly, I was watching a video that Sid sent me today on an old friend of mine, Ramon Diaz, who back in the day was a 4th degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, had a small academy in Palm Springs. When I first moved to the desert from Orange County, I was training at John DeLoe Jiu-Jitsu. When I came to the desert, I trained at Palm Springs Jiu-Jitsu under Ramon Diaz. And at the time, he was a brown belt at the time, became a 4th degree black belt over the years. One of the sweetest, kindest gentlemen I've ever known. And back in 2018, his life was taken. And I'm bringing this up today because this is what's happening in my circle. It's just some of the things. People's homes being broken into. A very dear friend of mine lost his life to an execution. And I was watching the video today. They had a private investigator who was hired by the family. Last year in 2023, now the crime had taken place in 2018. One of the suspects turned himself in 2023. Now they arrested another individual, and so there's going to be a big court case this year. And basically, what this one suspect is saying is it was the wrong person. They were paid to take the life of the neighbor who had owed $25,000 for some drugs. He was a drug dealer, did not pay somebody back. So these two individuals were hired to take Ramon's life, the neighbor's life. What had happened was they both drove red trucks, lived right next door to one another, had a very similar address. So these two dirtbags accidentally mistook Ramon for the person they were supposed to take care of business with and execute. And so they executed Ramon instead of the person they were supposed to execute. And so he lost his life for absolutely nothing, just a misidentification. And so that family obviously very heartbroken. He was a nice guy. I got to train with him for a while. And it's just something, again, that you just don't know when something bad's going to happen. Do you think when he drove home from his studio, just done teaching, drove home less than 10 minutes, got out of his vehicle, by the way, always backed up, always used situational awareness, and somebody got the jump on him. And look, no matter how much training you have, somebody, brings a pew-pew to a fight, you're going to have a problem unless you have one yourself, right? That's why if you do and you have the ability, I would be making sure that you're carrying your gear everywhere you go at all times, because you just never know. He never thought that day when he woke up that he was going to lose his life, that he was going to be misidentified for his neighbor, who he may not even have known was in the drug dealing business. So very unfortunate situation. Families just, really destroyed his family, but they've stuck together and they're doing okay from what I could tell. But, what if he would have had the right gear? Would it have changed things at all? Maybe. Maybe he would have had a chance. Maybe. But a really, really good guy. Really sad how he went out. But it's a reminder to everybody, we're still here. We can still do things to put the odds in our favor. That doesn't happen to us. Nothing's 100%, but there's always something we can do to strengthen up the weak links in our game. And carrying the right gear, being proficient is one of those things. So this is what is just happening in my circle. Again, execution a few years ago, my friend's mom's home being broken into yesterday, and there's also other things, other people I know who've had things stolen, catalytic converters stolen right in front of their homes broken into. This is happening in very, very nice areas in my circle. And so I highly advise that all of you make sure that you have your security in order, that you're training, that you have the right gear, the right tools, and that you're prepared when you leave the home and when you're at home. Do you have a plan if something happens at the house? Stop with I have an alarm, it's going to fix everything. It is not going to fix anything. The alarm might, get some pictures, it might make some noise, it might alert, an operator to call the police, but it still took, 24, 26 minutes for a deputy to get to that house yesterday. Do you have 24 minutes to deal with an intruder or two intruders? So start thinking about, these type of situations, because pray to God it never happens to you, but if it does, are you prepared to deal with it? Are you prepared to survive? Now, shifting gears here a little bit, California has yet to provide 1,200 tiny homes for states homeless that were promised in March of 2023. Our lovely governor touts California for having a national model for combating homelessness. Yet we have more homeless people in California than any other state in this country. Newsom said he would send tiny homes to San Jose, Los Angeles, Sacramento, and San Diego. Where are they? Where are they? Another question, where did the $24 billion go that was devoted to the California homeless? Where's all that tax revenue with the wealth tax that they put on those homes in Los Angeles? Where is all the money? How can they, how and why can they not account for $24 billion? And where are the 1,200 tiny homes? Where are our taxes going? Why are there more and more homeless people in California? Every day, the homeless population is growing. What in the world is going on? Why is there no accountability? Why are people not asking questions? Why do people not care that their tax money is being flushed right down the toilet? Who's getting rich off of our tax money? Here's another one today from The Hedge. The president's $320 million Gaza pier has detached and drifted onto Israeli beach. I talked about this last week. Another $320 million of our taxpayer money floating down the ocean somewhere onto an Israeli beach. It just broke off and floated down the ocean somewhere onto an Israeli beach. $320 million, ladies and gentlemen, of our taxpayer money. Yet we can't get some tiny homes for some homeless people. We can't help the food insecure. Where is all the money going? Well, apparently it's going to a lot of other countries and it's not helping the people right here. Maybe here's some people that could use some money. 1 in 7 American kids live in poverty. Why are we not making sure that at least these kids are eating? More than 11 million children were estimated to be living in poverty in 2021, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. That number is probably much higher today in 2024. 10.5% of adults 19 to 64 in this country are living in poverty. Where is our tax money going? Why are we so concerned that we're helping people from all over the world, but we're not helping people right here? How can we consider ourselves the wealthiest nation on planet Earth, a world superpower, when 1 in 7 of our children is living in poverty, food insecurity, 10.5% of adults living in poverty, and the food lines continue to get longer. The homeless crisis continues to worsen. We've got more people sleeping on streets, on sidewalks, more homeless, more veterans, more people who are going jobless, who are going to be facing this problem. Nearly 80% of Americans now consider fast food a luxury due to high prices. This on Fox Business. 62% say they are eating out less frequently. Fast food prices are up 41% from 2017. Did your paycheck go up 41%? How many people, comment down below, are just eating more at home? I am. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm eating a lot more at home. I'm sitting right next to the grill here. We're grilling more. We're eating more at home. I think if there's one positive here, it's going to force people to eat less of this garbage fast food, which is pure poison, and maybe eat more at home. Now, I know a lot of people probably today don't even know how to cook. A lot of people don't even know how to operate a microwave at this point. Maybe this is good. Maybe people are going to have to learn how to do something. They're going to have to learn a skill, how to cook, how to operate a microwave. I advise that you don't eat microwave food. It's really not that good for you either. I highly advise you learn how to cook and maybe eat a little bit healthier. I think that's going to be better for everybody. Here's another one from The Hedge. First McDonald's, now Burger King, admits consumers are broke with planned reintroduction of $5 meal deal. I want all of you to imagine if they're lowering this in this economy right now to $5, imagine the garbage that you're consuming with these $5 meals. Imagine how much filler, how many chemicals, how much garbage is in this food. If they can do this right now with the labor costs, the price of food going up, fuel going up, inflation, everything up, if they can serve you something for $5, think for yourself what must be in these meals. Think about how toxic this must be. Something you probably shouldn't be eating, certainly not feeding to your kids. Here's another one today from The Hedge. Orange juice prices squeeze into blue sky breakout as food inflation fears soar. Orange juice futures up 30% just in the past few weeks. Yet they're going to tell us, and this could be possibly true too, but there are greedy corporations. But what about the collapsing food production in Florida, the collapsing food production in Brazil? Maybe that has something to do with it too. Maybe when restaurants out here have to pay $20 for somebody to make a donut or flip a burger, maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe the cost of fuel has something to do with it. Maybe there's this thing called inflation that has something to do with it. Yes, I do think that there's some gouging going on, without a doubt, but inflation is very, very real, and everybody out there needs to be preparing for more inflation, because when you're building floating bridges, when you're sending hundreds of billions of dollars to specific countries, no doubt, prepare for more inflation, because when you have a country which is falling as fast as we are, that sends hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries, that now we have people in this country, getting paid $20 to flip burgers and make donuts. When you have a country that continues to print massive amounts of money, a country that it is losing jobs, a country that injected trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars into the system during the health crisis, you're going to have more and more inflation. So, as I leave you today, prepare for more inflation. They can keep dreaming about going to 2%. They can tell you that inflation's slowing down, but they can't tell you it's going down. Inflation is slowing down. It's not going up as fast, but it's not going down. But think about, what if inflation starts accelerating back up faster? Not slower, faster. We're going to have a real serious problem here. We have more shipping crisis taking place. You look at the price of cocoa, the price of commodities, the price of all these foods, cattle, the cattle farmers. We have the lowest amount of cattle in this country that we've had in many, many decades. I mean, we have a complete disaster on our hands. Yet people are going to sit out here and tell you and I everything's okay. Oh, this is more doom, this is more gloom. Hey, that's fine. You can call it whatever you want. I live in the real world. I'm going to continue to prepare. I'm going to sleep 8 hours tonight. We have security here. We have extra food. We have water. We have skills. We have assets. We'll be okay. Very, very little debt. Very little. Personally, zero debt. So we're going to sleep okay. The people who aren't are the people that call this doom and gloom, the people who this really triggers, because these people are getting very, very scared. These were the people years ago that would laugh at this stuff, laugh about the homeless people. They deserve it. Oh, I'll never be homeless. Nobody goes homeless unless they want to. Now these people are very triggered because they're losing jobs. They've now come to the realization that they have no training, no skills, no way to protect themselves, no assets, no cash, no way out. And if these people don't have a family to fall back on, if they don't have a church to fall back on, these same people who were laughing and judging other people and telling you and I that this was doom and gloom, these are the same people right now who are getting very, very worried, lashing out, trolling, because they're the ones that may be going homeless. In fact, they may be watching this video today in their car because that's where they're sleeping. They may be watching this video in a cardboard box or a tent because that's where they're sleeping. And I pray for these people because I don't want anybody living in their car or a tent or a cardboard box. I'm warning the people watching this video right now, don't take this lightly. Heed the warning, ladies and gentlemen. The warnings are everywhere. Don't take it from me. Just take it from what the data is telling you, from what you're seeing with your own two eyes. Restaurants closing, stores, commercial buildings shut down, selling for pennies on the dollar, inflation roaring. Our federal debt now is approaching $35 trillion. They're already telling you, get ready for a haircut in 2035. Social Security is running out. What else is running out? Is your pension going to run out? Your 401k going to run out? What are they going to bail in on? Whose money will they steal next? People aren't laughing anymore. And if you're watching this video today, if you're just tuning in, don't laugh. What you should be doing is preparing. Because the people that were laughing 2 or 3 years ago, they're now living in tents, sleeping in their cars, jobless, no money, nothing. And they're in big trouble. And it hasn't even gotten bad yet. Wait till it gets bad. Do you want to be sleeping on the streets during a Great Depression? Do you want to be on the streets with the people that are going to be meeting up with you very, very soon, who are going to be desperate and hungry? You won't stand a chance. Most people don't have the skill set or the mindset to survive on the streets. Don't make fun of those people on the streets, especially the ones that have been there for years. They know how to survive. When you get there, they're going to eat you for lunch. They're going to eat you up for lunch. I feel sorry for you. So if you're watching this today, don't laugh like those people did. They're in big trouble. Prepare. Check out the warnings. Heed the warnings that are all around you right now and be preparing mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe out there. And as always, I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. God bless all of you, and God bless America, and God bless the vets.